Give us barbed nipple. Yes. How could we not? Okay, I'm having a brain fart. MEP2234. What's the other name that I should know you by, but the screen is not showing it right? Panda, right? Pritchard. God. It's like some of these names, like the screen names for some people, don't show what they used to be. And so I'm like, I know that I've seen this name, but I can't remember what the name that I know you consistently by. I know Michael Pritchard. Of course I know you, sir. But I don't know what's going on. I'm going to have to start writing these down until I rememorize them. Barbed nipple. Lots of aliases. Not very good for branding, probably right. But yeah, sorry I had to double check. But yeah, of course I know you. I couldn't remember that alternate name there. I've got to go get a new one of these fine tip pens. This one is old and way past its prime. It's like me, like that. Ice, ice, baby. Let's stop, collaborate, and listen. Attention. Yo, I don't know. Poisonous mushroom, deadly. Anything less than the best is a felony. You know, God, what artist? God, that's a good question. Because they're coming out with that new series, and they've got what's his name drawing it? Ed Benz or Bennis? I'm not sure how you pronounce his last name. And me and Chuck Gibson were saying, like, holy shit, did they screw up? Ed Benes should be drawing the new Witchblade because that dude can draw the hottest girls. But who could draw a good darkness? Huh. It's kind of hard to say because to me, darkness has like a limited story structure to tell. Um, it's kind of like Spawn. I don't think it has like a long term. You think he's only doing the first issue? Like literally only one issue? Man, that would be a massive disappointment. I haven't heard that. I haven't heard anything one way or the other except that he's doing it. But like one issue is one thing. Like why not like a whole arc? You know. Um, that's interesting. Um, I don't know. I'm really stuck thinking here. I don't know. My mind's instantly going just to kind of the standard generic like dark gothic style artists that I know, like Jay Lee, like old school Jay Lee. Um, and how about something like way off the beaten path, like a Mike Mignola? You know, he likes to draw dark monsters and things like that. That could be potentially interesting. Why don't we go way off the wall and let's hire Alex Ross to do the darkness? It's more like an informal collective founded by him and his siblings. Interesting. Yeah, he's he's really, really good. The CPR song. Oh, right. I was gonna say I don't know what you're talking about, but no, I remember The Office. I'm like the CPR. What are you talking? Oh, right. That's really funny, my dude. The CPR song. Boy, this is a sharp fucking Hunt 102 because it is shaving the shit out of this paper. What has Ed Benes done historically? I feel like that's a name that I've seen around, but what has he done that I might know? I'm really curious. Did he work for any of like the Image guys? Well, I mean, he did work for Liefeld, right? Didn't he do some like Glory stuff or something like that? Um, or am I thinking of someone else? I'm really not sure. Do, 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 do.
And I get 5% cash back. No fees, no interest.
No one else has no interest? Me.
Now I know why your parents are setting up a business.
Make the best of your money this holiday.
Hey, you got a lot of payment.
PayPal.
Bar hopping tonight? Get a free ride with your buddies. Just use code FIRSTUberFree when you
They must never find them. They must never find us.
Birds of Prey covers for Wonder Woman. Do you have any idea? I mean, I'm sorry, I know I could look this up, but I'm just drawing right now. But like, when did he get into the industry? Like, do you know where he got his start? I guess part of me is wondering if I saw him doing image stuff because, you know I always talk about that stuff, but it's kind of the era that I grew up in, and this I was sucked into that stuff, and I feel like, did I see him do stuff over there? And 890s, early 2000s, maybe, yeah. He's really good. That's all I know. I will be disappointed if he's only doing the one issue of The Darkness, because they better get an absolute stellar follow up. Because if they don't, he was at DC while Turner was there. Is that when Turner was doing that Supergirl story? I miss Michael Turner. I know artistically he was kind of an acquired taste, but he sure seemed like a nice guy, like a good guy that just liked to draw comics. And he just seemed like someone who was always going to be drawing comics, as opposed to like a Joe Mad who wants to go make video games, or Campbell that wanted to become or just did by default become a cover artist. Um, Turner just seemed like he just wanted to make comics, and boy, do I respect that. To get out my circle template to trace them titties. Turner refused to leave the convention until he was finished signing. See, it's that kind of shit that I don't know. It makes me. I don't know. For some reason, it makes me sad to think of a guy that was that kind of dedicated and interesting and popular and willing to do that, you know, for his fans. And it kind of just reinforces, again, obviously I've never met him, but so everything I know about him is just based on what you've heard people talk about him online. But like, what a neat guy. And putting forth that kind of effort for your fans. I mean, McFarlane talks about that's what he would always do. He's like, I don't get up from the table. I stay there and I sign everything. It's how you build your fan base and you build loyalty. And I'm like, yeah, that makes perfect sense. And man, despite looking sick, huh? You know, I can also imagine perhaps like, so he is sick and maybe he is not feeling his best. But you know what probably makes him feel good? Is that shit right there. Like, it's therapeutic. And, you know, again, I'm just completely projecting and imagining, but you know, I'm sure he probably felt miserable if this is when he was sick. You know, and if he's not feeling good and everyone's like, dude, you can wrap this up, but he may feel like shit, but he's like, this makes me happy. And I can see a guy like, no, I'm going to stay right here. Because also, maybe there's a certain amount of life is precious and fleeting. You better fucking enjoy it while you can, because cancer might come along one day and kick you right square in the nuts and drop you forever. Yeah, there's that. These people paid for things. He's going to honor that, which all falls under the kind of the same umbrella, I would think, of he's going to give the fans what they want, what they deserve, and he's going to, you know, he's happy and, what am I trying to say? He respects the fact that there's people out there that are in line to see him and get his signature, and you know, he understands it and wants to honor that. I don't know. All I know is that when I read that years ago when he died, that really, it stung. You know, for a guy I didn't know anything about. Let your love for me. Close your eyes and just reach out your hand and touch me. Don't ever let me go. So ever needed you to show. Have to say. Had a big impact for years. Yeah. I didn't follow Venice at the time, so I can't really speak to that, but I was certainly following Turner. I was always kind of surprised that he decided to jump off his own characters and creations to, yeah, it is karaoke night. No judging. Or, you know what? Go ahead and judge. I can take it. But, yeah, I was always kind of surprised that Turner stopped doing his own stuff to go off and do a Batman, Superman, Supergirl run. Unless it's just a case of it's just a thing that was on like a bucket list that he wanted to do. But as a creator and an artist myself, I don't know. I guess I was going to say the ultimate, like, he was hyper popular. Like, people loved his stuff. And so he could literally do anything and it would sell. So you'd think, well, why not just do your own thing and have it sell? But if you just always wanted to draw Superman and Batman, maybe you just do it, right? I don't know. There's that part of me that's like, the end game for me would be like, I get to do my own characters and my own creations and my own stories with zero editorial interference. And there's no such thing as I'm bored of the story because it's my characters. If I'm bored of the story, no one's writing it but me, so you just fucking make the story you want. This is the argument that Eric Larson makes with Savage Dragon all the time. He's like, I don't understand why people don't just make their own book. And they talk about, you know, if you're bored with the story and your own characters, then you're writing your own boring shit. Make it interesting. Tell the story you want to do. Are you sure about that, Roland? I want to say that's not. I don't know that I remember that. I know that he drew Wonder Woman, but I thought it was just in that Batman Superman story. Are you sure? I've been very certain of things before and been very wrong, so I'm not saying that you're wrong, but I don't remember Turner doing a Wonder Woman run. I just know that she showed up very prominently in the Batman Superman run. Okay, comics, maybe he knew he was running out of time to draw his favorite characters. I mean, that's fair. That's valid. You know, if he's sick and he's like, you know, I may not ever get a chance. I wanna draw freaking Batman and Superman. And again, I get it. Yeah, I remember him doing Wonder Woman, because how do you get Michael Turner and at DC and not have Wonder Woman in your story? Because, you know, he was good at everything, but, you know, like J. Scott Campbell, they're like, you're known for drawing like really hot girls. So, and when you got Wonder Woman, you have to have him do it. All I know is that it sucks that he died. I think he was gearing up to do a Wolverine story, maybe with Jeff Loeb again. There was that one image that they were putting out there that he drew of really feral, kind of angry, screamy Wolverine that looked really neat. And then it just was not to be. just scribbles with an ink pen trying to, getting these crazy textures. I just kind of wanted to get something like that. Yeah, I've got brushes for sure, but fucking, I just drew into her face. Now I got to wipe that out. But I'm not looking for a slick look. I'm looking for a rough look. So I am just kind of experimenting. Jay Lee used everything that existed. Hunt 102s, brushes. I mean, I'm talking his old stuff, like his Wildcats trilogy, his Bloodstrike, or what is it? What is that fucking Liefeld book that he did? Not Bloodstrike, but Strike File, his Hellshock stuff. If you see his black and white stuff, it is so sketchy and crazy. I mean, there's stuff he's doing that there's no way that it's just all brush. Savage Namor, I think so. God, there's several issues of that book. I've got one, and I watched another guy online review him, and I'm like, holy shit, is this stuff spectacular looking? I need to get him. But very scratchy. Then he'll take razor blades and cut into it with textures, ink splatter everywhere, white paint used all over the place. Like, he just did anything and everything that he needed to get these wild looks. And then he completely abandoned that style in favor of this hyper clean pencil look that looks great, but it is not the same. Yeah, I wonder what John Byrne thought of the art. Because kind of a master of everything that John Byrne was. Because he was writing it, wasn't he? And then Jay Lee comes along, and I have to imagine that the artistic response from the fans was pretty overwhelmingly positive. And so even if John Byrne didn't like it, I wonder if there was any kind of like, well, learn to live with it, buddy, because sales are going up and people like this Jay Lee kid. Not highly from what you understand. And see, I could believe that. So that's why I was saying, I bet that I could understand editorial saying, yeah, Byrne, I know you don't like it, but guess what? Sales have jumped and interest is spiking. So you may not like this Jay Lee kid scribbling the most satanic looking Namor you've ever seen, but find a way to be happy with it because it's working. But again, I don't know what sales were. I'm just imagining what I'm guessing is probably the case. So how many issues do you know of the Jay Lee run in Namor did John Byrne write? Because again, I've got one. I've reviewed it on the channel, and I just think it looks amazing. But boy, it's the opposite of what you think of Namor. And then, like I said, I saw this other fella reviewing all of them on his channel. And I don't remember who was writing it.
gotta go help people customize and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. There it is.
Probably just the first story. Yeah.
Hey, John Ham, you still coming to my dog's birthday party? Have to sell my car.
We'll just sell it to Carvana.
Kind of like when Jim Lee and Will Spertasio brought Byrne back to help script the early post-Claremont X-Men. Yeah? Omer Glitch, how's it going? Boobs, so it's going good. Hell yeah. I mean, you're a man after my own heart. I mean, like, I could be having a really bad day, and then suddenly, you know, there's some boobs somewhere, and I'm like, oh, you know what? Kind of all right. Does it make me a simpleton? Yes. Do I care? Absolutely not. You were drawing and inking some boobs earlier on your channel yourself? Awesome. See? Spread Eagle sounds like a Savage Dragon character. Well, it is supposed to be kind of a gag thing. So, and that is very much something that Larson likes to do. So I could see that. Maybe I should hit up Larson. Like, can we do a crossover with Savage Dragon and Spread Eagle? And then he just, like, block me instantly. Never hear from him again. I didn't put her in this pose for nothing. So for my book, I'm going to do, I was telling some people that I'm going to be doing pinups for, like, I'm making the comic, but I'm going to put ads in my comic for books that, some of them which will never exist. There's going to be some ads in there for books that are going to come out from some other people I know, but then there's going to be a couple of, like, gag ads. And this is going to be one of them. This is like for like a 90s bad girl. I've even come up with the tagline, you know, like, you know how they're like, you know, vengeance is their mission and they're going to blah, blah, blah. So, just like Rob Liefeld. Except these ones actually have no intention of coming out. Liefeld's always like, yeah, these are definitely going to come out. And we're like, uh-huh. But this girl's like the tagline will be something to the effect of Spread Eagle, shot from the heavens like a celestial ejaculate all over the bosom of evil. Coaxial cable. Yeah, see? A celestial force ejaculated upon the forces of evil. Yeah. How many times has Liefeld done the future man robot from the future bit? He's done a bunch of variations of it. He's like, it worked once, why would it not work again? We're like, yeah, think about it, Mr. Liefeld, sir. Hear me out, guys. What if they're all the same character from different points in time? Maybe? You know? Maybe it is. Between you and Mitch, you guys are the new Rob, but better. He should hire you guys to write an actual good Youngblood. Well, you know what? In a way, Mitch already has. I mean, that's what Blood Force is. That's one of the reasons I love it, man. I really want his crowdfunder to be successful. I'm gonna be shouting it out on my channel all the time. I'm gonna be pointing everyone towards it. I'm like, go get this guy's book. We got to get this thing made. I mean, it's made, but we got to get it in people's hands. Yeah, Blood Force toys. When? You know what would be great is if, like, some way, somehow, Image Comics sees it and picks them up. And is like, you know what? We love this. You've already got it made. Let's get this under the Image banner. Then he gets some success and, like, you know, big time success. We get some action figures. Fuck a duck. Me and Mitch even joked about, like, we should do a crossover book with his characters and mine. I was actually thinking about it today because I've got kind of like a good guy team sort of and a bad guy team that are going to be in my book. I haven't really introduced the bad guy team, but I was kind of think of wanting to call yeah, you're right. I mean, you're right. Like, a person could kind of make his own thing work on their own if you kind of build up your social media presence and get it out there, for sure. But part of me is just like, life would be completely complete if, like, I had a book with the Image eye on it and I could put it down next to my favorite Image books of the 90s. And if I could show teenage me, you know, that one day in the future when you're an old man, there's a book with an Image eye on it and it's yours. Like, the idea of that is just, like, that's kind of the fantasy world. But, Anyway, I have this team of like these 4 bad guys, and I was kind of toying with the idea of having them have a team name called Excessive Force. Instead of X Force, it's Excessive Force. And then if me and Mitch were to cross our books over, it could be Excessive Blood Force. Mr. Peter Palmiotti, hello, sir. You've got some image books with your name, not your own, just comics you inked. Like, you know what? That is like the again, like I was saying, the little fanboy inside me would be like, that's part of like, I want to be inside one of those books because, you know, teenage me growing up with that stuff. That's just to have that option, to have that thing say that would be just like childhood fantasy realm come true, right? Oh my God. I mean, if we actually get to that, I mean, we joked about it. We were on a live stream and we kind of joked about like once he gets his books kind of done and going, we should think about doing like a crossover book of some type. And he's like, yeah, that could be something. So yeah, I think it's not an impossibility. I think it would be fun as hell. We'd all have a great laugh and just creating like the most ridiculous story. Like just have something so insanely over the top. Oh, okay. I need to get out my ancient inking kind of backsplash page. Look at this thing. I just use this thing all the time when I need to. I'm gonna ink off the edge of the page, and I don't want to be like inking onto my desk. So I've got this splatter page that, man. All right. Looks like a Sandman cover. Oh, you mean the splatter page? Is that what you're talking about? I was like, my thing? No way. Peter, this is the first time seeing my art. Where do I post my comic? Well, I don't. So the current thing that I'm working on, God, how do I sum it up? I'm working with Chuck Gibson. I don't know if you know who he is. He used to be an inker for Wildstorm. I'm doing I've drawn it. It's all penciled and it's all in his hands. He's inking it. We're real close. I'm going to say he's about 2/3 of the way done. It's a parody sequel to a Liefeld comic because he never bothered to finish the story. And so I have an Instagram page, sir. And that's where I post everything. And then, of course, it connects over to Facebook. I don't know. I feel like, should I show you some of my art that I've got sitting here so I can be embarrassed? Let me see. What do I got sitting right here? Bear with me for a minute. I'm not one of those artists that has an organized art room. Everything I have is just a disorganized disaster. Here's like a cover to the thing. Again, it's a Liefeld parody, so I got a cable analog. Let's see. So there's that. I did a pinup of Mitch's characters for his book with hot girl and faces around the sides. Here's the team of Excessive Force. It's all supposed to be a parody of like over-the-top 90s stuff, just the same as like Mitch is doing in a way. But I take mine a little bit more adult. I'm not saying that like as a negative on anything, or you know, it's just. So we have Kill Snap, War Whore, Tuma, and Laserfag. Another shot of those guys. There they are again. I kind of forgot. I forgot to ink this girl's hair. It's kind of involved to do, but I was having fun with this girl with an all metal skin. But I kind of lean into, if it's just skin-tight metal sheathing, it shows all the details. Because, why not? Because I'm a child. Just some sketching art studies of Jim Lee figures from old Uncanny X-Men issues. Kind of a potential future idea, because Peter, I did a 6 graphic novel sized fan comic of He-Man, Masters of the Universe. Each book is like the smallest size of one of them is 80 pages. The biggest one's like 135, and I've got 6 of them. And then this is going to be like a spin-off of that concept, Warriors of Eternity. I was going to do that immediately next, but then I got this idea to do this damn Liefeld parody sequel book. And I could not get the idea out of my head, so I just had to keep going with it. Just some female figure work there. That's referenced from... This was somebody on Instagram or something like that. Ink practice over Mark Silvestri. Ink practice over Jim Lee. I'm still kind of working on these just periodically. Just trying to see what I can come up with. But it's hard because I'm doing it through a light box. Like I'm inking with the light box, and it's hard to see the detail, so I have to make some choices. And another page of Jim Lee that I'm practicing on. Here's like a lot of the characters. So what do we got here? So this is Kill Snap. This is Dollface, Bo Bitch, Captain Extreme, War Rock, and Red Coyote, and then Smoke Ninjas. So anyway, that's just kind of a pile of stuff that I got sitting near-ish. Thumbnails for, you know how that goes. All right, let me pick this stuff up. Yeah, I was trying to pick like stupid names, but also bordering on kind of cool. Like Kill Snap. Like everyone hears that. It sounds completely ridiculous, but it fits with the 90s aesthetic. Like you can almost imagine a character showing up in a Liefeld book or a Wildstorm or a Top Cow book and just having some ridiculous bullshit character named Kill Snap. Or again, Red Coyote, War Rock. That's just like an opposite of Battle Stone. Yeah, a group shot with no visible feet. It's on brand. Yeah, there's two female characters. One's Dollface, one's Baby Girl, and then, of course, the one War Whore. And then the main character, who's supposed to be like a Cable, you know, I've been going back and forth, but I kind of wanted his name to be Max, like Maximum, like Maximum Press, so it's Max. And I figured I'm just going to call him like Captain Maximus, or Captain Extreme, something like that, just something ridiculous. And then there's the Deadpool analog character. His name is Deadeyes. He's the one who gets his dick chopped off. That's the whole MacGuffin of the comic that we're doing. He gets his junk chopped off, and so he's chasing it down. It's very much not for kids. But as I was kind of creating the idea, I'm like, I've always just thought, like, wouldn't it be funny if in this story they just took it to this extreme level? And no one ever does because they're making comics for kids. But I'm like, no one's looking at my shit anyway. Who cares? So why not make the comic I want to make? And so I made a very R-rated, in fact, it's kind of X-rated on some pages, because I just kept coming up with these insane, ridiculous bullshit ideas. I'm like, so the girl chopped his dick off and ran off with it. What if it still worked? And he could feel what they were doing to it hundreds of miles away while he's in battle with monsters. I'm like, oh, this is so stupid. I have to do this. So, thus henceforth, for the big kids, yeah. And I've even kind of like, I've been going back and forth on the name of the book, but I want it to be, I don't know. I think this is a stupid idea, but everything is stupid. But, oh, Peter, I saw you post that pencils from Mitch that you were going to ink. And when you're done, you'll do a collab with me. That would be awesome, man. Thank you. I was going to say that I don't think Mitch has ever penciled for somebody else to ink, because he tends to pencil extremely rough and then just go straight to inks and find the drawing there. So I think that it's I think it's going to be really interesting. I'm really excited to see what that looks like when you're done with it. Because Mitch has got a very distinct style, but he did really tight pencils on that. I thought it looked really cool. But, and like the team name for the book, like it's Captain Maximus and his group, his team, I don't know why, but somebody said one time that, because I was saying I was having a hard time breaking the story on the next book. Like, I know what's going to happen, but getting it going. And somebody says you should just do a tech-based raid. That when in doubt, just have your team do a tech-based raid. I was like, The Tech Base Raiders. I like the name of that for like the name of a team. So I think that's going to be the name of the team. It's Captain Max and the Tech Base Raiders. So they can just refer to them as the Raiders for short. And then they're fighting the bad guys who are excessive force. It's just all stupid. Was that you, Roland? Was that you who suggested the Tech Base Raid? I thought it might. I knew it was one of you on this. That stuck out in my head ever since you said that. I'm like, Tech Base Raiders. Like, it sounds stupid, but it's also what the 90s era characters always did. Like you said, when in doubt, just have them raid a base. I was like, fuck, that's exactly what these guys do. So, yeah, Tech Base Raids are a staple of Liefeld writing. So I'm like, this has got to go in it. So I keep trying to like talk myself out of it for fear of it being too fucking stupid. But I keep coming back to it. I'm like, I just love the way it sounds. It's too dumb, but it's also awesome. And that's kind of what I'm going for. That's the whole thing. But anyway, sorry, I'm getting back and forth. But Peter, yeah, that would be fun to do a collaboration. If you wanted to do that, that'd be spectacular, man. I'd be all about that. Calculator Kid, Silicon Sally. There's so many possibilities.
Treadwell shows some transparent test results. Outliers for his performance.
It's kind of like the name of that character, Kill Snap. Because, again, I'm doing the parody sequel to that Liefeld book, and he had the character in there, Deadlock, which was a character from Youngblood and Brigade. So I'm like, Deadlock. So instead of dead, it's kill. And lock's snap shut. So it's Kill Snap instead of Deadlock. And I'm like, that's literally the amount of effort that went into that name. And everyone that hears it chuckles and laughs and says, that's perfect. I'm like, it's a perfect 90s stupid name. It's kind of nice and freeing to like draw the kind of comic you've always wanted to as a teenager, like a 90s image era bullshit action team with all these muscly guys and hot girls doing stupid stuff fighting monsters, but you're not trying to write it with the pretension of it's a deadly serious comic on par with the best issues of X-Men from Claremont ever written. Like, we're not taking it seriously. This is all stupid. So just go with it and just tell the jokes. Just be free to just do whatever. And I'm like, having that freedom to just not care makes it fuck. God damn, I just smudged fucking ink all over the goddamn leg of this girl. Well, that's what Photoshop is for. God damn it. I'm gonna have whiteout, but stupid on purpose. Yeah, right? Just because I'm also, I mean, if I'm being honest, the exact balance of what I'm going for in my book, Mitch has already come up with. I got to read all 4 of his issues, and I'm like, the balance of awesome, like good art and action and fun, and then just the ridiculous humor, Mitch nailed it. I'm like, that's the exact vibe that I've wanted to do in my book, and he kind of beat me to it. So I'm like, well, let's just keep going and see if I can match the awesomeness that he already did. Yeah, whiteout. I need to come up with a character named Rob as an anagram playing tribute to R.O.B. Rob. Take what you need. This song, every time I think of it, I think of that movie, Butterfly Effect, that it was in. It's got one of my favorite scenes in any movie ever. Robot Owl Blob. That'll be a guy that shows up at the end of an issue as like a cliffhanger. This new character showed up. Tune in next time. Well, yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying. Like, with the Youngblood story, it shouldn't be hard to beat it. Well, again, Mitch's story, the Blood Force, it's a government team of superheroes. He's not leaning into the celebrity aspect of it or anything, but it's a government team of awesome heroes doing cool stuff. I'm like, this is kind of a Youngblood thing. And it's awesome. It's so good. And I'm not exaggerating when I said, like, I did that video where he let me review the first 2 issues. I'm not kidding. I'm not lying in the slightest when I said when I was reading it, I was laughing out loud with tears in my eyes at certain parts because of how funny and perfect it was. I'm like, oh my, this is just, I haven't laughed this hard, not at it, but with it, at a book in years. I was like, yep, this is what I wanted. He's from the future. Everybody's from the future. For my cable stand-in character, I was kind of coming up with this idea that his history, I don't know, it's not going to sound very interesting, but my son, my youngest boy, has loved playing Red Dead Redemption 2, and he loves being a cowboy. And I was going to name the character like his forgotten human name is like my son's name. So I was going to have the character, his history, be that he used to be a cowboy back in the day, and then he gets attacked and he's going to die, and then he gets taken from the Old West into the future to become a cyberpunk hero, but his origin is that he grew up in the Old West as a cowboy, and that's where he was born and raised. He was going to have my son's name. So when my son gets older and he can read my shit, because his mom will shit if I show him this stuff, I could be like, look, son, I put you in the comic. This cowboy, his name's Johnny Andrews, but then he gets shot down by some bad varmints, and he goes into the future and he becomes Captain Maximus Extreme. And he has to help his buddy recover his severed cock. Don't tell your mom about this. But my son is only 10, my youngest boy, so I can't show him this shit until he's old enough that I don't give a fuck what his mom thinks. I'm even going to put in the story of the character's cowboy origin, like the story that happened with my son. I know I've told it, so some of you maybe have already heard this, but my son came to me. He was playing Red Dead Redemption 2. He's like, Dad, the cops won't leave me alone. I'm like, why? What did you do? He's like, I didn't do anything. I'm a good guy. So I go in and I find, and because I made the mistake of showing him in Red Dead Redemption 2, if you use a shotgun on a dead body, you can blow the arms, legs, and head off a corpse, which he did. And then he picked up the corpse that had no head or arms or legs and slapped it on the back of his horse and rode into town. And the cops don't take too kindly to that in the game, so they kept chasing him down. And my son was getting pissed because he's like, Daddy, I stopped a bad guy. I was bringing him to the sheriff. I'm like, yeah, but you blew his body to pieces. They think you're a monster. He's like, but I'm not. He's a bad guy. I could blow him away. I'm like, I know that seems logical, my son. But that's not how it works. So I'm just like, I gotta put that in there somewhere. And by the time he's old enough to read it, he'll probably have forgotten about that. But his daddy sure won't. My son needs a lesson in due process. He does. Let's be honest. He's like, I don't get it, Dad. They tell me to go collect this bounty. Yeah, but they didn't say fucking horrifically dismember the guy's body with a shotgun and then roll into town and act like what? What's the problem? Everything's fine. He's dead, dead or alive. Did the sign say headless, corpseless, you know? He's like, I'm just following the rules. You guys are not.
Featuring signed sports memorabilia and autographed sports cards inside the most exciting witness.
Is that whiteout driving you nuts? I'm actually about to get out the white paint. That's the problem with doing inking like this is you got wet ink all over the place, and I've got some pencil I want to erase, so I should follow my own rules and not touch this with an eraser or anything until tomorrow, because you can see these little white or these wet globs of ink on there. What the commercial? Shut up. My son learned how to be a cop from Ed 209. You know what? I have a feeling that when I show my son RoboCop, which I don't think I have, it's a little bit too intense for them right now. I bet he will love that scene. I can hear him just laughing his ass off right now, because he's a little psychotic monster in his own right. Which is why I love him. At least it's one of the reasons. Let's see. Does acrylic paint ever go bad as long as you keep it sealed? I've had this bottle for probably 15 fucking years and it's still wet. Yeah, the squibs going off. Like, what was even funnier is, because for years I only saw the theatrical release, but if you see like the uncensored version of that shot, you guys, you want to see the greatest RoboCop thing in the history of ever? Have you guys ever seen that fan-made alternate scene to where RoboCop shoots the guy in the dick? Like, I'm not joking. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? If you're a fan of RoboCop, and if you're not, I don't know how we could be friends. I suggest doing a Google search for, like, I don't know, RoboCop shoots the guy in the dick parody, because basically what they did is they take and remade the scene. Like, they recreated a RoboCop suit and that entire scene in the alleyway where the two guys have the girl, he's got her, you know, as like a human shield, and RoboCop shoots through her dress and shoots him in the dick. But what they have happen next is that more bad guys keep showing up, and he keeps shooting them all in the dicks. and a bunch of them start showing up with their dicks out, and so they have like exploding meaty man parts just getting slow motion blown apart. RoboCop ends up with like two guns, one in each hand. It's an overhead shot. He's just slowly turning in a circle shooting, and he's just blowing people's dicks off. It's just up to this extreme level, and it's like the most ridiculous, funny thing I've ever seen in my life, that somebody thought of this and then just went and did it. It's graphic. It's extremely graphic, but it's one of the greatest things ever made. Assuming your sense of humor allows for things like that, which clearly mine does. Every kid has the right to watch RoboCop too early. I know I did. I saw mine. I saw it way too early. But man, it's one of my favorite things ever. I saw Aliens when I was 10 or something like that. And it's just like the greatest thing I've ever seen. Is Hub silenced by my ridiculous suggestion to go find the video where a robotic cyborg man shoots a bunch of criminals in the dicks. Like, that's not the kind of thing I want to hear. See, it's just kind of mixing with the ink. I should turning to a gray blob. Come on, you know you want to see it.
Luxury just like the pavement. Experience all-wheel drive, next-gen tech, power, and acceleration in the 2025 Jeep Conversion. A Porsche with a passionate spirit, bold capabilities, and an ability to counter expectations.
Getting her coated in all that white goo. If you're talking about over here, Omer Glitch, if you're talking about over there, I kind of left it blank on purpose. I kind of playing around with how I want it to look. In fact, I originally thought about not having any detail like physical body lines on her body at all, just have like a white glowing shape. But then the part of me that's just a dude wanted to draw the boobs, so here we are. No, I get you. I get you. I was going to. They are there for a reason. You're not wrong. And if you other artists just keep every damn other, like, ancient brush that you've used and they're dead and they're forked and they're not useful anymore, but you keep them just in case that funky end is good for textures for something else later. See, I did it for years, and then I heard the cartoonist kayfabe guys say the exact same thing. They're like, keep that shit. Yeah, I might need this later, right? Exactly. I heard the kayfabe guys saying that, yeah, just keep those brushes, you know? You never know. You might, you get an interesting texture out of it. Like, it's used up its useful life in one way, but it has a secondary life as just a texture brush of some type. You never know. Just keep them. Like, I like it. If you open your mind for me, you open your eyes, open eyes. Unintended use, you always say, yep. Montoya. We are in the presence of the great Montoya.
Known for creating memories. No one wants to be known for cancer, but a treatment can be. Keytruda is known to save cancer.
Yeah, see, I was thinking the same thing. I do not mean to pry, but you by any chance don't happen to have 6 fingers on your right hand? He just looks at him, the man in black. Wesley, he's like, do you always begin conversations this way? And I like kind of the emotional change in that scene instantly. As soon as Inigo says, my father was slaughtered by a 6-fingered man, like, the man in black instantly was like, oh, okay, I got you. No, I'm good. He's like, what a great sword maker, my father. A splatter catch page is a good background for like a credits page or a letters page. That's a interesting thought. Huh. Yeah, some of the best characters. Hell yeah, Montoya. You know the music when you hear it. The Princess Bride is one of those movies they should never ever remake, but there is one version of it that I would accept. You guys have probably heard this, where at one point somebody suggested that they do a remake of, or it's like not a remake, but just another, like just make the movie again, but with Muppets. And the grandfather should be the actor that played Wesley. He should play the grandfather, and just do it with Muppets. And I was like, oh, I would actually see that. Like Kermit the Frog would be the man in black. Thanks, Montoya. I got to the part where it's the messy with the ink splatter or the white paint splatter and everything, but I'm kind of hoping that when it dries and I scan it and I clean it up, it all comes together the way I'm hoping. Yeah, the Muppets Princess Bride. I'm like, you know what? Like the kid in the bed would be what's the name of like the kid frog? Not Kermit, but whoever the kid frog was. I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, I think Indigo Montoya would be Gonzo. Like, there's a possibility there. They want to like mine that IP again. That's the right way to do it. A freaking Muppet movie. Omar Glitch, you need to do some fan art of my characters. I'm trying to think. I'm going to be insulting if I forget somebody, but I don't think. It's very, very rare when anybody has done fan art of any character I've created. I can't remember who I saw some suggestions where somebody put out who every character should be. I can't remember who Andre the Giant would be. I don't know if Big Bird's the right fit. There's that one Muppet character that's like the giant furry hairy thing. He's got a big flapping mouth. I don't even know if he has a name. I don't know. There's a million possibilities. I think Fozzie Bear was the Miracle Max. This thing isn't working. Snuffy! He was a drug addict. Hey, Bird. I need some smack, Bird. They had the audacity to put a pimp in Sesame Street. They called him the Count. But I know a pimp when I see one. Bitch, you've been late. Where is my money? I've been counting. How many times do I have to smack you before you'll be right? 1, 2, 2 smacks. Thanks, Peter. I'm not going to be on here too much longer myself. It's 10 o'clock, and, I got to be up at 5 in the morning to get to work. But thank you for stopping in very much. I appreciate it very much, sir. Omer Glitch, the chick face reminds you of Barry Windsor Smith. Now the whole piece does? Well, hey, I'll take that.
In mission-critical environments, failure is not an option. Omnitron Systems engineers and manufactures government-trusted network devices in the USA, built rugged, secure, and fully compliant. We ensure your networks stay online when it matters most.
Michael, how are you? Fuck yeah. Incorrect, Montoya. Though it does sound very much like them. Yeah, it's Pearl Jam. Omer Glitch, you got a shit you gotta take off? Well, awesome. Thank you for stopping in. Like I said, I'm almost done here too. I was never a big fan of Pearl Jam. I never gave a shit, but man, everyone was into them at the time. You could tell by the slurred vocals, right? Oh, Merglitch, are you on Instagram? I could screenshot some things and send them to you. Loves him. He's saying, tread carefully. Montoya, did I get to stream with my friend today? I haven't streamed in. It's been a couple of days. What friend? Did I
Hey, John.
suggest something?
Birthday party? I have.
You might have seen an old post. Jessica. We haven't got to do a live stream together in a long time because she moved and life has been difficult and things like that. But we might be doing one this week, maybe Thursday. She hit me up and sent me a picture of her. She finally got her art room set up after being moved in for 2 months. And she says that we could probably do one this week. So I'm going to check with her tomorrow and see if she wants to do one. I miss doing those with her. She's so fun. And we used to do them consistently. Like, we were even doing them twice a week for a stretch about a year ago. Yeah, she's mostly settled. I mean, she's been kind of quiet. She's got a lot of stuff going on, and I'm trying to like not bug her or anything. But she did message me day before yesterday and said that she got her art room set up, and she wants to get back to drawing. Yeah, it must be an old one, Montoya. So, but maybe this week, actually. Yeah, hopefully that's what we're. That's the theory. We'll see what happens, right? We used to stream together, and it always seemed to go fine. But then suddenly, towards the end, there things just got really laggy and kind of weird, and we didn't understand it. And then it seems like I have problems on my end. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why there's a problem, but I'm gonna check with her tomorrow, and maybe Thursday. It would be Thursday afternoon, Mountain Time. I have I'm getting an iron infusion done at the doctor. This is my 5th visit to Thursday. It'll be the last one because apparently my blood iron is so fucking low. They're kind of freaking out. So I have to do that directly after work. But then, so I'll let you know. I'll post it up on the Discord. I'll get a picture of her again and put it up there so people can see pretty girls streaming with Rob. Tune in. Because no one wants to see my ugly mug, but Jessica's a pretty lady, so. Mr. Lorio, something different about you. Too much iron in your blood. And then Friday, I get to go to the dermatologist. They're going to cut some shit off the side of my face. The doctor looked and saw like a dark spot, and she took a little sample of it and got back to me and said, it's not cancerous or anything, but they're like, it has the genetic possibility to be that way. So we think we should just get you in here and we just should lop it off just to, cut out all those cells and everything like that, just to avoid possible future problems. I'm like, all right, sounds fantastic. Can't wait. Let's do it. In here, right? Okay. Well, I gotta take a picture of this thing to post it, but all this ink splatter and paint splatter and makes this thing fold up, so I gotta tape it down to get a straight picture of it. All right, well, that is Spread Eagle. Remember the tagline: shot out from the heavens like a celestial ejaculate onto the bosom of evil everywhere. All right, guys, I'm gonna be done and try to go to bed. So thanks everyone for stopping in as always. Hopefully I'll be doing it Thursday. Classy. So you guys validate me. Oh, you guys are great. Classy. I don't know why that makes me laugh. Oh, I must be tired. Stay classy, San Diego. The whale's vagina. All right, guys. See you next time.